You're listening to TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is our show where, you know what? Let's do something a little different.
Welcome to TG1F's Read an F1 Romance Novel Month.
F1 romance, author interviews, book recommendations, oh my.
Join us for a month-long celebration of F1 romance authors and the stories that get our hearts racing.
Because while F1 drivers are filling their shelves with trophies, we're filling yours with F1 romance novels.
Who are we talking to today, Kate?
Turn the page and find out.
All right. Well, Kay, welcome so much to the Two Girls, One Formula podcast. I'm very excited to have you on today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
Well, I'm so glad you could join us today. So, to kick things off, why don't you give our listeners a little bit of a synopsis about Falling Off a Cliff and tell us about the plot, some of the main characters, any tropes or themes, if there's any spice level, just so people can get an idea about what they're getting into when they buy your book.
Yes, so Falling Off a Cliff is my debut. It's a fake dating romance between this one F1 driver who's he's about to lose his seat and he just wants to renew his contract, and he starts fake dating this business owner. And I love their dynamic because she's the grumpy one and he's the sunshine one, which I think creates a really fun dynamic which you don't see in every book. And the tropes are fake dating, reverse grumpy sunshine. They're enemies, like kind of enemies. There's only one bed, obviously. And,
we love a one bed.
Spice level, I've seen a lot of ratings. Like I've seen 1 chili and 4 chili. So I think it's different for everyone. But if I were a reader, I'd say maybe two chilies.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
Perfect.
And then the second book in this series is coming out in 5 days. But by the time
this is out, it will be out.
That's what I was gonna say. And yeah.
What's that one? Can you give us a little preview on that one as well?
So this one is about Tiago's teammate. So Tiago is the MMC in book 1. Book 2 is about Rowan, who's assigned to a new press officer. So it's a workplace romance. They don't really like each other at first, but then they become friends with benefits, and then they become lovers. And I love this book. It's really special to me because it's more like their connection is just so beautiful. I don't want to say too much about it, but I just think that the readers are going to love this one.
That's so exciting.
Okay, that's so exciting. Well, congratulations also on the second book. That's so exciting and so much fun. I love when books are just so popular and successful that you can write another one and continue living in that world, because I think as readers that's something that people just always want, is they fall in love with characters and they just want to stay in that world a little longer.
Sure.
So congratulations on book 2.
Thank you.
And something that I think you're really known for is having the relationships in your work, really get built on an idea of trust and friendship. And so can you tell us a little more about how you kind of work out what these relationship dynamics are going to look like and how you want your characters to build that relationship?
Yes. So for me, a solid foundation in a relationship, is really trust and just being friends with your partner. And I just love writing my 2 characters being able to trust one another and just looking at the other and being like, okay, you're my friend first and foremost, and I just want to tell you everything and just to trust you. And I think it's really important to give the readers this insights of the way their relationship works, and that it's just so easy and it's just natural.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I think, piggybacking off of that, one of your big themes with especially your male characters is vulnerability and making them have these moments of real emotional vulnerability with other characters. And so how do you think about that, especially through the lens of, men who are often not given this opportunity to be as vulnerable in this space, but also through the lens of an athlete.
Well, you know, when you read about men or when you see men in general, they always have this tough facade, I think you say in English. And it's nice to see that they have like these walls built up, but then when you break those walls, you just see that there's a human behind those walls. And I think it's really nice to see that in books, which you don't see very often, especially in sports romance, that men can just let go of all their emotions and just accept that it's okay to cry and to feel negative feelings and to accept that it's okay not to be okay. And in my books, my male characters, they're not afraid of showing that they can cry and they can trust their partners into showing that they're not okay. And I just, I love that.
Yeah, I think that's really important and exciting to see that. I mean, I think especially in the world of sports and athletes,
Yes.
it's this idea also that like you're a professional athlete and you asked to be here. So any stress, it's kind of like anyone that's a celebrity, like you kind of asked for this. You signed up for this
Yeah.
life and so you can't let your weakness show because like okay, well you're getting what you wanted. You got the dream. But I think it's really important also now that we're seeing more athletes speak out about mental health and say like it's okay. And Lando,
Hmm.
especially in F1, has like worked with multiple mental health charities. So I think it's really important that that's happening kind of in real life, but you're also showcasing that in your
Yeah.
book. Some nice parallels between the two. And so changing gears a little bit, but can you tell us a little bit more about your journey into becoming a fan of Formula One?
So I grew up watching Formula One because I don't know if you know that, but I live in Belgium. And when you grow up in Europe, it's just like, it's kind of like you guys, Americans, Sundays or for football, and over here is for F1. So we just grow up and watching F1. But there was a period of time where I stopped watching it because I was less interested. And then when I got with my boyfriend in 2017, that was when I started rewatching and being interested in it again. And I think it was the peak of Drive to Survive, like right after that, which combines everything. And F1 is such a great sport, and I love seeing it becoming more and more popular.
I mean, what a great last couple of years to revisit your love for this
Yeah.
sport. It's just been a huge boom. When was the moment that you kind of decided that, you this is your debut
Yes.
novel. So, you were like, you know what? One, I want to write a book, but two, I want to write a book about Formula 1. What was the moment that kind of sparked that for you?
That's a good question. So during COVID, that was when I really started writing more and more. I started writing when I was like 12, but it wasn't anything serious. And
Hey,
then
we've had a lot of people on here talk about how they got started in fan fiction.
yeah,
So
yeah,
at
I started in
12,
fan fiction.
13.
So
Yeah. So the pipeline is strong. We get
yeah, for sure.
it.
I don't know. I love racing. I love writing. I love romance. And I was like, you know what? I think the greatest combination I can do is write an F1 romance. And there aren't enough of them in the world. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it and see how it goes. And here I am.
And here you are with two, not one, but
Yeah. And the
two.
third one is in the works. Yeah.
Incredible. Even
Amazing.
better. I love that so much. And I think it's interesting because you have been a fan for your whole life. You grew up with this
Yes.
sport, which I think is different from a lot of people because, like we said, it has been had such a boom in the past couple of
Hmm.
years that a lot of people found the sport and fell in love with it over the pandemic, but you have with the kind of this lifelong knowledge of the sport. As you were writing your debut novel or even books 2 or 3, is there any real life inspirations that you took for either the characters or the plot lines or anything like that?
Mostly for the characters. I took slight inspiration from Leclerc for book one. But as I was,
Great.
I think a lot of romances are inspired by him, but it's okay. I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
look at that face. Look at that face. He has a face
Yeah,
that
I mean, it's
inspires
you
romance
can't not.
novels.
exactly. But as I was writing book two, I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to create my own characters and not really inspire myself from real drivers because I just want to dissociate real life and my books.
Mhm.
But there are some races that are inspired by real races that have happened in the past.
Cool. Okay, love. Well, can't wait to read book one because I'm always picturing Charles as my male main
Yeah, as you
character.
should.
They
That
could say
doesn't matter the
they could
book,
say blonde
honestly.
hair, blue eyes, and I'm like, it's still Charles in my head.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
So you mentioned, we have a couple of tropes in this book. We've got the one bed trope, we've got reverse grumpy sunshine, we've got fake dating. What is your favorite trope to write? And conversely, what is a trope that you haven't written yet that you're really eager to explore?
So I love enemies to lovers, just like the tension and then the moment where they realize that they don't hate each other, and I just love this one. And one trope I would love to write, and I can't wait to do it, is second chance. I think the fourth book, which is gonna be the last one in the series, is gonna be second chance, and I love angst. I love writing it, and there's nothing better than second chance to have angsty moments.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, second chance is so good because you get to kind of explore like, okay, well, we broke up once before.
Yes.
Should we really do this again, or is the same thing going to happen again, or like was that a good reason? Should I just leave it? So I think, yeah, you're right, there's so much opportunity for angst and like emotional
Yes.
turmoil. I feel like you can just like, it's like a roller coaster.
Yes. I can't wait.
I love that. Okay, amazing. So you said you have three more. So as of today, book two
Yes.
has not been out, but today, technically, when this is launching, it is
Yeah.
out. So there's two more coming. And do you have any idea of like when we're going to be able to get our hands on those?
My plan for
I don't want to rush you. I know book two just came out, so I don't want to
yes.
like put.
Um, my plan is to release book three like early 2025, and my plans has always been to release books during breaks, like either during winter break or summer break,
Okay,
so the readers can have something to read during the breaks. And
perfect.
Love that.
so the fourth one would come out in summer 2025. Yeah,
Amazing.
but let's see. I'm not sure how things are gonna go.
Yeah, we won't hold you to that.
Yeah, but for sure, the third one would be early 2025.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's so fun. I'm sure. What has it been like writing a debut novel, and like what has the reception been like for you putting these books in readers' hands, and what has the response been like?
It's been really amazing because when you're an indie author, you just don't know how it's gonna go. You either succeed or you're just like there and you don't know what to do. I've been really lucky, and I'm just so grateful for everything that's happened to me because marketing a book is not easy at all, and I've had so much luck to market mine, and it's been really great so far. And well, obviously, like, it's a book. Some readers are not gonna love it, and some others are just gonna love it, and it's gonna be their favorite books and stuff, which is okay because if you know what you do and if you love what you're doing, it's what matters the most. But I've been very lucky, and I'm just so grateful to be able to put my books out there and, know that someone is gonna read it. And I'm just so excited
Yeah,
for
so
what's to come.
that's
I
so
mean, incredible
exciting.
that you have been able to plot out, four different books in the series, and know that people are eager to read them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's exciting because, yeah, as I said, you just don't know how things are gonna go for you, but you just do it and take it one step at a time and see how it goes.
Well,
Great
I give
advice.
you a lot of credit because it's not easy writing a
Yeah,
book,
no,
publishing a book, marketing a book. So for you to have the reception that you've had and have two out now and plans for two more is really impressive. So I give you a lot
thank
of
you.
credit.
You should
You're
be proud of
welcome.
yourself for
You
sure.
don't make me cry.
All right, we're gonna go into a fun little lightning rounds, rapid fire questions. So, first question is: at the moment, who is your favorite F1 driver, and what is your favorite team?
I am a Ferrari fan through and through, like since I was a kid, and right now my favorite driver is Sainz. And I am just so like stressed out about where he's gonna go next year. I'm just like
He needs to
waiting
stop playing.
for the announcement to drop.
I know, and he keeps playing with our emotions. He's like, "Yeah, actually, I was just busy watching the Euros. Haven't made a decision yet." And I'm like, "Boy,
Yeah, right.
be
But
serious. We need an
I really
answer."
like the fact that he's taking his time to, choose the right team for
Yeah,
him, and that he's not
yeah,
rushing it.
yeah.
Someone needs to write a book about Carlos Sainz's experience right now, and it's like he's la di da di da taking his time, and there is a love interest who is like, you need to make a decision right now, and he's kind of like aloof, and she's stressed and type A. I feel like that needs to happen.
I will
Hey,
do it.
Nicole.
I
Okay,
will do
perfect.
it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You free idea. Someone take it. I don't have time to write a book right now,
Yeah.
so it's on my roadmap. Um, okay, next question. Outside of F1 romances, what is your favorite book or series, either of all time or something that you've read recently?
Okay, so something I've read recently is Play Along by Liz Tomford, and
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have read this series, the Windy Cities.
Mhm.
I just love it. Love it. Like the
It is
characters.
one of our friends' favorite
Oh
series.
yeah. I mean, the characters are amazing and such a great series. But I think that my all-time favorite series is Akotar by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, like
Yes.
no hesitation. I love this series so freaking much. Like I could talk about it every single day.
We do.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
have
As you should.
yeah, we have a group chat called A Court of Depression and
Oh my
Denial,
god.
and all we do is talk about Sarah J. Maas. So, have you read all of her series?
Yes, I have.
Like
I
Crescent
have.
City and Throne of Glass? What's your ranking?
Okay, so uh
well, she said
Christian Cities
Akatar, all-time favorite. So
third
yeah,
one, and then oh my god, it's always between Tog and Akotar, but I'm gonna have to say second one Akotar and then Tog just because Tog was the first one I read. But it's
yeah.
just always like, between those two.
It's
For me, it
so
depends on the
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
to be
same, me
honest.
too, honestly.
I think I cried more during Throne of Glass. Like, I
100%.
was
Yes.
so emotional during that whole series, and I don't know if it's because so I read Throne of Glass last.
Oh,
I read
yeah,
ACOTAR first, then Crescent City, then Throne of Glass, and so I don't know if I was also emotional because I was like, "It's over, like, I'm done with all 3 of her I don't have, like, a new series to look forward
yeah,
to," but I was so emotional the entire series that I'm like, "I have to vote that number 1," because, like, I laughed, I cried, I sobbed,
right.
I cried more, I laughed a little bit,
Yeah,
and then I cried again.
yeah, that's so valid.
Yeah,
I
okay,
don't
well,
know,
thank you for
Crescent
saying that as your answer because we've been, like we asked this question to everyone that we've interviewed, and we've been, like, waiting for people to say Sarah J. Maas that we can talk about it, and very few people have, so thank you for
Oh,
saying that.
you're welcome. Because, like, I was reading the questions you sent me earlier, and I was like, okay, that's my answer, and I hope that you guys are gonna, like, agree with me.
I mean, we have
Yes.
also done a mini series on the SJM universe, on the podcast, so it's something we feel very passionate about.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Alright, and last question, Kay, are you familiar with the concept of the show The Amazing
You
Race?
know what? I was not, and I had to Google it. I
Okay.
had to Google it. I was like, what is that? But should I watch it?
I mean, we love the show. We love the concept. So basically, like you and a partner are paired, or you choose up. You guys, you pick someone who you want to partner up with, and basically, it is a worldwide competition. You have to get from point A to point B every single episode, and you do challenges. Sometimes they're physical, sometimes they're mental, sometimes they're daredevil or eating weird foods and whatnot. But and at the end, you win $1 million if
Oh,
you're the
okay.
last team standing. So, that being said, out of all of the characters that you have written, if you were to partner up with one of them on The Amazing Race, who would you choose to give you the best advantage to winning $1 million?
I choose Indy, who is the FMC in the third book, because she's just really competitive and she's really encouraging too. So I feel like she would be a good partner.
That is a solid
Yeah.
choice.
I love that. Amazing. Well, with that, we want to say thank you so much, Kay, for being on the podcast and sharing your work with our audience and everyone listening. We are going to hand the metaphorical microphone over to you quickly to share with everyone listening where they can find you, where they can find your work, anything else you have going on, kind of anything you want people listening to know.
Thank you. Well, you can find my books on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. Hopefully, like I'm keeping my fingers crossed, my books are going to be available in indie bookshops soon. But if you want to know more about that, you can just follow me on Instagram. I'm posting a bit more on threads too. And then I use a bit of TikTok.
Amazing.
Phenomenal.
Well, we will add all links to everything and social profiles in the episode notes for everyone who wants to check out Kay and her work. But thank you again for being on the show. We had such a lovely time chatting with you, and I know that we will chat again,
Yeah.
especially as books 3 and 4 come out.
Yes, for sure. Thank you guys for having me. It's been so, so fun.
Thanks for coming.
Amazing.
We'll talk
Thank
to you later.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
If you like what you heard, don't miss out on the fun between episodes.
Keep up with the chaos on Instagram at 2girls1formula. That's spelled out TWO girls numerical 1 formula.
And check out our website, twogirls1formula.com, to shop cute fan-made F1 merch.
See you next week.
But like we said, in the meantime, we'll see you on the internet.